people of the internet? This is Red Cube Everything coming at you with another RLAL regular season match. Today we're going to see HTP going up against NMAF. This is going to be a pretty well-awaited matchup, especially for HTP, as they did have off last week and they're eager to play. HTP are a team that do have that little kind of break going into this match and that could haunt them. But NMAF, on the other hand, have been playing some very good Rocket League. There hasn't been really any like explosions on the ball or very interesting plays, but they've been playing some solid Rocket League, so it's going to be a great game. But HTP are kind of hungry for a win here as they haven't played in a while, and HTP are also a very skilled team. So just looking at that, I'm definitely going to be giving my pick to HTP here. But NMAF is going to put up a great fight, as they always do, as this was, I think, only last week and the week before was the only time they did not win a match. And we've seen it from them in RLSL, and we've seen it from them in RLAL this season. They are a team that really doesn't give up, so I think this is going to be a great match. What do you think, Mango?
I'm going to have to agree with you here. I think it's going to be a very good match here between HTP and NMAF. I think it's going to go to Game 5 most likely. And my gut feeling tells me HTP is going to win, so I'm going to go with that. In Game 5, they're going to win Game 5. But just looking at the stats, seem to have slightly better stats in most areas. Just as an example, HTP has 3 goals allowed per game, while NMAF only has 2.6. NMAF has 28 shots. HTP has 22.
All right, so
NMAF has 17 saves, while HTP only has 7.
Well, just looking at that, we can already see NMAF have been playing some pretty solid defense, which is very surprising, as that's not something that we've really noticed from them, but they've kind of been doing it almost low-key. And that definitely could come up in this game, but HTP do have a very strong attack, but could that defense hold strong for NMAF? Looks like we're just going to have to wait and see, and let's just wait for the players to join the match, and let's get this match underway, am I right?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, everybody, the players have just joined the match, and we're going to be underway with the first kickoff, HTP going up against NMAF. The game here should start momentarily. It looks like we're going to be seeing Switch against Vsauce for the first kickoff. Let's see where it goes. It is a 50-50 ball, one in the middle. Chubby Hamster's going to win that. That actually puts great pressure already for NMAF on HTP's side. HTP did get a good clearance out of that, but Kaiser does have to hit that one more time to get it fully on NMAF's side. And we're starting to see already a counterattack here for HTP.
And some pretty decent pressure from HTP. Now just bringing it back into their corner. But overall, just a lot of really good pressure. Already extremely bombarding NMAF's net. And NMAF definitely have to get a bit more pressure on if they want to stay in this here.
And just as we say that, we see NMAF pull off a very quick counterattack. Only one person was in the back of the net, and Chubby Hamster did get a good shot off. But in the end, it was handled pretty fairly from HTP. Right now, it actually seems to be almost a 50-50 kind of back and forth. Whoever can get that first shot off in a great position seems to be the one that is going to score here, because it's just kind of been that midfield line type of play, and whoever can get past that midfield line and get a shot on net should get a goal, as it's a lot of pressure and a lot of aggressive play from both teams.
Yeah, NMAF seeming to play a little slowly, but other than that, doing some really good defense, just not letting any of these shots fall, continuing to clear the ball out. But definitely want to see a bit faster play, as HTP are just controlling the ball here.
Yeah, HTP are also a team that are very fast on the ball, and if NMAF are lacking with the pace of things, they're definitely going to start struggling against HTP, and they need to fix that quick, because HTP, once they get warmed up and kind of get these wheels under them, they're going to be a fast team, and it's going to be definitely hard to deal with for NMAF.
It's a decent shot there from this switch, but again, saved by NMAF. Like we saw, NMAF had much more saves. So that's definitely going to be a big factor coming into this game, and we already see it as NMAF has blocked most shots, but with that, the commentary's curse there, this switch with a seemingly open net there. Defender just not ready for that, and it just goes right behind him.
Something that we could kind of mislead from the stats is, yes, NMAF has lots of saves, but if a team has a lot of saves, that also means a lot of teams have shot many times on their net. So that could kind of spell almost a lot of high pressure against NMAF. And when you give HTP all that pressure and all that space on the attacking half, they're for sure going to score a lot of goals.
Yeah, that's definitely true. No matter how many they can save, like there, eventually, if you keep putting up shots, one will eventually go in and just escape the defense.
And right there, it was just a good read off of the wall there from Kaiser, and it's just continuing that bombardment on the offensive end for HTP, and that's what really led to that goal. Never really saw NMAF get a attack out of that, and never get it really past their half, and HTP capitalize on that, get a nice roll up the wall, good read from Kaiser, and put it in the back of the net. And already we're seeing HTP start another counterattack here. Kaiser does just miss that, and Vsauce is going to get there, but that still puts the ball in a dangerous position. Lots of pressure here from HTP.
What's a nice shot there from Chubby Hamster. Barely missed the ball at the end there, try to put off a shot. But really what we're seeing here, we've seen a lot of solo plays from NMAF, which is really not working out, as they're just clearing the ball upfield, and then HTP are getting a really easy clear and turning that into a counterattack, which has led to 2 goals for them. So definitely want to see a bit more team plays from NMAF.
Good play there from Easy. That is a good little kind of save off of the wall, but that pressure just has increased for HTP, and it's going to lead to another goal. You've seen it time and time again, HTP just continuing with that pressure, and that is what is really leading to all of these goals. Good defense from Vsauce there, but it does put the ball in a very dangerous position, and that is what results in a goal.
Going for a kickoff here. Second half of the game now, 30 seconds in. NMAF seems to be winning most of the kickoffs, and they try to put a shot off, but HTP continue every time to get a counterattack off of it, and right there again, it's the ball set up right in the middle. Nice pass there from Ishii, and then just put right into the net by Kaiser. Nice shot.
The problem there is just NMAF just were not really with that defensive rotation. Nobody was back in the net, and they just weren't fast enough to get to that rotation. Yes, they won the kickoff. That definitely gives you some confidence, but what is winning the kickoff when you can't get to that ball first, and then it leads to a goal for the other team? NMAF just got to be a lot quicker than that, and they got to have some more communication on that defensive end, because missed rotations like that is what's going to lead to some easy goals for HTP. And there you see it once again, just as I say, missed rotations and miscommunications. That actually rhymes, so it's very good. But another easy goal for HTP. Just Easy gets a nice, there's 2 Easies basically on the team. HTP's Easy gets a nice shot on the goal, and that's just another thing, high pressure and just defensive rotations out of it for NMAF, and that's what's leading to most of the goals here for HTP.
And now down 5-0 with a minute 30 left. And HTP not even stopping, just continuing to keep up that pressure, keeping the ball on NMAF's half. And NMAF definitely want to try to get a goal here or something going. Maybe this could be it.
That is a good shot. Oh, good passing from all of the team players. And it's something we really haven't seen from NMAF. Lots of individual skill has kind of relied on this match. And it's the first time we saw a glimpse of team play, and it actually almost worked out for them. That might be a sign of things to come. Maybe in the next match here, as we do know NMAF are so good at adapting, so maybe they are going to start maybe working a little bit better together, and maybe could get a couple of goals. But with that HTP defense, it looks like it's almost impenetrable at this point.
Like I was about to say, NMAF just playing a bit faster, getting a bit of team plays. They may not win this game, but they definitely want to get in that habit for game 2 to try to not let that game slip away and tie up the series 1-1.
Yeah, going into this game, we did expect a very close match, and I still do. Although the scoreboard might not really say that, I still think NMAF are a team that is so well at adapting that I think they are going to be able to take this to a very close game in the game 2, and maybe bring this to a game 5. Great shot there from Kaiser, kind of lets it right up the wall, lets the play develop, and just lifts it right over, passes Vsauce, and then lifts it right over Easy. It's a great shot there from Kaiser, and HTP riding into this game and coming out of it with a lot of confidence going into game 2. NMAF got to figure something out here, but I'm sure they will.
Definitely want to get a bit of momentum going to not let that slip away in game 2. And maybe we could see it here, Vsauce going up the wall, trying to maybe get a center, does not reach the ball, and a clear from Diswitch.
Like we've said, HTP do have a very solid defense, so those up the wall kind of basic plays, not really basic, but kind of see it time and time again, plays aren't going to work against HTP. You got to kind of pull something out of your bag and get a little creative against HTP, because HTP has almost seen it all. Another thing to point out is HTP, hey, they come into this game with a lot of confidence. We've seen them in the Discord chat and things like that. They are a team with a lot of confidence, so that definitely is going to push them towards a early victory here. But it could bite them in the back later on in this match because sometimes you can get a little bit to your head. So we aren't going to be changing the servers. We aren't going to be changing the servers because we got to keep it consistent. It's going to be 2 NA, 2 EU, and then back to NA for the last match.
So just going into game 2 here, I think NMAF, we've seen it time and time again, they're very good at adapting to other teams' playstyles. I think we're going to see some better play here from them and definitely a closer game.
Yeah, I think no matter what, even if NMAF do take a loss in the second game, I think they will for sure take game 3. They are not going to go out of this with a sweep. That's just not how NMAF plays. They're very good at reading other teams' playstyles, like you said. And I really see that coming up in this match and them possibly either getting a win here or a win in game 3.
Like we were saying, an almost goal there for NMAF, just barely not on frame. That's already much better play from them, as last game we barely saw any shots from them.
All right, well, already seeing a nice little counterattack here from Chubby Hamster, but HTP Easy is going to get there. Vsauce has to get to that ball, but Easy's going to get there first. And another NMAF's Easy is also put in a tough position. So Easy to disc switch, and it goes right in the back of the net. That's kind of a little bit of a miscommunication there on NMAF's side, as Easy and Vsauce bumped into each other in the back of the net, and that's what could have led to that goal. But overall, great team play from Easy to disc switch, making HTP go up early here.
Poor timed bump there between Vsauce and Easy. Just took both of them out of the goal, not even able to make a play on the ball, and that just ended up leading to a goal for HTP.
That is something that NMAF really did not want at this point. They did not want to go down early, because just going down early in a match, especially when losing by a significant amount in the first match, it's just not a good confidence booster. They really wanted to come out to this game and get a quick goal, because that would have helped them significantly. But now that they're down, it really takes a strong team to come back from this. But we are seeing a great shot there from Chubby Hamster, but HTP Easy is going to get the save. Good effort there from Hamster, but again, we're seeing a lot of individual play and not a lot of fast-paced playmaking that we need to see from NMAF.
NMAF are definitely getting much better shots off and just having much better play than we saw in game 1. But HTP, they're just a really solid team, and they're just not letting any of those shots go through.
We are seeing Chubby Hamster get another play here against on the HTP offensive side, but again, all about solo play here, and we've already seen Kaiser come right back at them with a counterattack, and it almost seems no matter what NMAF does on the attack, HTP are just going to come back on their attack and do it better. Like right there, that's a very bad clearance, and it's just given right to 2 HTP players, but Kaiser cannot finish it, and NMAF got to get this ball out of their half quickly.
Hamster now trying to make a play on the ball, but he's not close enough to it. Just letting HTP take shots. Great save there from Easy. Chubby Hamster going up the wall here, trying to get a good clear off, stop that attack from HTP.
Yeah, HTP were just kind of giving a nice bombardment onto the NMAF defense, something we've seen time and time again from HTP, and NMAF at this point are just relying way too much on individual skill and not working as a team. Great save there from Vsauce, but again, so many saves that there's just so many shots for HTP. Sooner or later, one of these are bound to go in. But we've already seen a closer game here, so that is a plus for NMAF, but they are still not playing as well as they need to be playing.
But definitely a much closer game here compared to game 1, as we're less than half the game to go, and it's only 1-1. NMAF, they just need one goal here to tie it. No boost there for Chubby Hands. They're probably wanting to go for a ceiling shot there. And the ball's just looming in front of their net. Easy might get a shot off, but great clear from Ishii on HTP.
Yeah, that was a must-needed clear, as that ball was just kind of sitting on the goal line for HTP, but good clearance there. And now we've already seen a counterattack develop. Kaiser could get the shot off, and he does. Great clearance there from HTP, as NMAF tried to get an attack out of that, but just a absolute boom down the field. And it puts Kaiser in a great position and puts NMAF in a tough position, as now they are down 2-0.
Something I'm just noticing from NMAF, they're playing pretty decent. It's just I don't think their rotations are being fast enough, and that's just what's kind of leading to HTP being able to control the ball so much, which is they're just getting to the ball faster, and that's just going to let them maintain possession for much longer than they should be.
I think something that NMAF really needs to look back on this game is they need to get their rotations a lot quicker. They need to make a lot more rotations and a lot faster rotations. And they also need to stop relying so much on individual skill. Like right there, another missed rotation for NMAF, and it leads to easy goals. You can just see the positions of all of the NMAF players are just not correct. Vsauce was coming down from the ceiling. Easy was going for that shot, and Chubby Hamster was down on the attacking half. That is not what you want to do when the ball is on the midfield. You want to pressure that ball and get someone in the back of the net, because shots like that are going to happen.
Clear there from Ishii, which we've seen a lot. Just HTP really excelling on those clears, which are just like, NMAF have gotten good shots off, but they just have not gotten many shots off either. So HTP just not letting them do that is definitely contributing to this lead.
NMAF, like you said, have gotten so many shots off, but it's just, again, you see here, HTP right back with a counterattack. Every shot that NMAF gets back turns into a counterattack for HTP. Like right there, HTP Kaiser getting some great midfield pressure, looking to get a shot in the middle, but he does not have enough boost. Disc Switch is trying to get that also back in the middle. You could see a counterattack here for Vsauce. If Vsauce does get there, he could try to put this in the middle. He only has 0 boost. He could get it past Kaiser, but Kaiser is going to get a huge play there. And now we might see another counterattack for HTP.
Right there, Easy with a good stop there of the ball, but does not have boost. I think HTP actually might be boost starving NMAF here a lot, because we've seen him time and time again without boost and just not able to make a play. And that also could be contributing to the lack of shots. A good ceiling shot clear there from Chubby Hamster, but another save. This switch just not letting anything fall. And keeping that brick wall defense that we've seen from HTP.
And there it is. Or they could get another goal here just to pad the stats, but Easy does accidentally backflip, and that is just going to be a 3-0 win for NMAF. Although that game was a lot closer, it just did not feel like it was. NMAF are just kind of getting almost just completely bombarded from HTP at this point, and that is not what they need to be doing right now, because HTP are a team that if they get all of that momentum, they're going to just completely dominate that. But as you know,
oops, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna talk about the server switch. So say what you're gonna do before I cut the video off.
Oh, just he just had a lot more possession of the ball during those first 2 games, which is just something NMAF can't be letting happen. Because when a team controls the ball for that long, you're not gonna get a lot of shots off, which are just not gonna lead to goals, and also they're gonna get a lot of shots off, which is leading to a lot of goals for them, which is overall bad.
All right, yep, that is just definitely what NMAF needs to fix, and HTP kind of just don't need to fix anything at this point. They've been playing very well. But as you guys know, there's going to be a server change, and we'll be right back with you. There we go. Hello, we are back with the Game 3 of NMAF versus HTP. HTP are off to a 2-0 lead against NMAF. NMAF are facing a series sweep, and HTP have a couple games in hand and have been playing very, very well. So let's see what NMAF can do here. If I'm NMAF in this kind of position, I definitely need to get out early and get out quick against HTP, and this is not a good start for them, as HTP could get a goal here as that ball is just floating in the middle, but Chubby Hamster gets a big clearance, and NMAF have to get a counterattack here and get something out of this. And they do. Great play there from Chubby Hamster. Big counterattack for NMAF. Although it might not seem like much, that's a huge confidence booster for NMAF, as now they have just gotten that early lead, and that's exactly what they needed. Huge play from NMAF.
I hadn't got a chance to talk at this game, but just a couple things I've noticed, or a thing I was going to say was NMAF definitely needed to score early, which they just did, which is great, and I think that's a sign that they can definitely win Game 3 here, and possibly get a reverse sweep. And they did that, and that is their first goal of the series, which is definitely going to boost their confidence, especially as they have the lead along with it. Also, when they joined, I noticed a lot of car switches to them.
Oh, and that's just right back at them. Just as we were talking about so much about how good NMAF was playing, they did make a huge mistake on defense, and HTP are right back in it. But Mango, as you were saying, with the car switches, that sometimes can show like lack of confidence, because if you're starting to change your car that much, you definitely know something is wrong, and then you're kind of getting in your own head, which could definitely spell disaster for NMAF at this point.
Gonna say it seems to be working, but good counter attack here from HTP. Almost got another quick goal there. And we're just seeing the same play from HTP that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, HTP definitely weren't phased from that first attack, and NMAF do definitely have a little bit more juice in the tank after that first goal, but HTP kind of just, at this point, have more juice in the tank. They have just been playing very well, and NMAF now are starting to look a lot more like what we saw in the first couple of games. Just letting their foot off the gas was the last thing they wanted to do, and that pressure just gets completely absorbed, and Kaiser gets another goal. That's going to be just a complete confidence demolisher for NMAF. They came out early, but HTP were completely unfazed with that goal, and in the end, leads to another HTP goal.
Well, speaking of car switches, Switch seems to have accidentally picked the Skyline, but they are winning, so it doesn't seem to be affecting them that much, which is a questionable decision in most players' point of view for Vsauce. Switch to the Warthog, not something we're really used to seeing. Definitely a questionable choice.
Yeah, I was gonna comment on that in the beginning of the match. Definitely just a interesting choice from lots of players' perspectives. We've never really seen that the pick rate for that car is close to none, actually, and it's working, I guess.
NMAF from easy.
I guess it's working.
The car switches seem to be working. A pass from Vsauce there off the back of his car just seemed to confuse Kaiser, and Easy with an easy goal there. Easy with the easy goal, I like that. And 2-2, 3 minutes left in the game at this point.
Yeah, this is it's just very interesting to see a Warthog in the match, but I guess you can see with that goal that actually, without the Warthog, that might have not happened, because the Warthog has that fat hitbox in the back, and without that hitbox in the back, that ball might have not gone into the center. But now, even though it is still tied 2-2, HTP, I feel like, still have a lot more momentum than NMAF, and NMAF definitely just have to get a goal lead here and then play some strong defense and maybe try to force this into a game 4.
Clears here from NMAF, and another clear over one of the HTP players, but a counterattack. Kaiser seems to be going up the wall, but again, Vsauce with a counterattack. NMAF playing much better defense here, not letting them maintain possession, which is something we said they can't let them have.
We are seeing NMAF definitely play a lot better, as at this point in the match, many other matches, they were at a deficit and haven't scored. In this match, they are already at 2-2 with 150 left, and there's not really much momentum on either side, but HTP definitely have the edge here, but Chubby Hamster silences me, and the commentator curse strikes once again. Chubby Hamster with a great play over HTP Easy, and just an huge, absolutely tremendous confidence booster for NMAF, as now they have the lead with 143 left. They could play some strong defense, and they could force this to a game 4.
This is definitely what we were expecting to see, or at least predicted to see at the start of the match. A bit of a more even match with both teams scoring, and definitely the possession has definitely shifted compared to games 1 and 2.
Yeah, this is definitely more like what we would see from NMAF most of the time, but we've seen it actually time and time again where the first couple of matches NMAF don't do so well, but then they come out, but this switch with a great shot there, just bounces off the left wall, and then Vsauce just could not get there in time, and it almost sets this switch up for a great shot, and in the end, it is now tied 3-3. And HTP could have a slight edge at this point, and NMAF got to do something here quick with 116 left. They do not want this game to go to overtime, because with that high-pressure playstyle from HTP and an overtime match, HTP are just going to turn it on in overtime and just be super aggressive right off the bat. And unless NMAF don't have an answer for that, it would look like NMAF is going to go down early in overtime.
I definitely agree with that. This game so far has been just kind of back and forth. 1 minute remaining. If NMAF could get a goal here, that could be huge for them. Especially as I don't think HTP will be scoring 2 goals by the end of this game. So that would pretty much secure them a possible win here in Game 3.
Yeah, we are seeing somewhat of an attack here from HTP, though, and that is something NMAF must not do. They got to get a counterattack out here quick. There's only 30 seconds left, and it is anyone's game at this point. This switch is actually going to be passing it back, playing more of a passive kind of playstyle, but Chubby Hamster's going to be there. That ball is set up in the middle. Easy does get to that, but the other HTP Easy also gets to that, and we are seeing somewhat of a little, some good pressure here from NMAF, and HTP are in somewhat trouble. But 10 seconds left, and now HTP are right back on the attack with a quick counter, and we could see something here with the last 5 seconds, but that demo is going to fizzle that attack out, and it looks like we're going to be seeing an overtime here. Unless that ball stays in the air and someone can touch that, but it won't. An overtime here for NMAF versus HTP.
And now NMAF, they cannot mess up anymore. They have to get a good shot off, play good defense, because if they get scored on, the series is over and HTP sweeps them. And we could see this here easy. Ball going up towards their net, kind of looming in front.
Vsauce could get there, he does. Vsauce does get there, but it's going to be an easy clearance there for Easy. But now Switch with a quick counterattack. HTP's counterattack has got to be one of the fastest. It just seems right when they get the ball on defense, they're already on the other team's half. Very quick counterattacks, and that's what NMAF just have not gotten used to yet. And right there, we see it once again, quick counterattack, but Vsauce with a big save, and now it looks like Chubby Hamster's turn to try to get a counterattack, but Easy holding a good midfield line, and Kaiser just back and forth here. Just counterattack after counterattack and holding midfield line, and big block there from Diswitch. This game is just back and forth at this point, and it's really just anyone's at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty much whoever can get a good counterattack going, score off of it, will be the winner here, in my opinion.
One thing we are seeing, though, from HTP is a big pressure, but big pressure leads to easy goals, and Chubby Hamster is going to get an easy goal there. I was just about to say, HTP have put a lot of pressure on that offensive end. And when teams put a lot of pressure, it's going to be good.
And lead to overcommitment.
Exactly. Good. A lot of pressure is good, but too much aggression and too much pressure is bad. There's that fine line in the middle that's really good, but too much and too little can spell disaster for teams. And we saw it there with HTP. NMAF forcing a Game 4.
Definitely something we're not used to seeing, as going into overtime, usually teams tend to kind of lock down, play a bit slower because they try to avoid that. But right there, we saw HTP commitment there, and just it led to an easy and breakaway for NMAF.
Yeah, that's something, yeah, like you said, we don't really see that much, especially in overtimes. But with HTP knowing they have a game in hand, I think that was part of their plan, just to get a nice little goal there at the end and get a quick goal. And, I mean, try to get a quick goal, not get a quick goal. That should not have phrased it like that. But try to get a quick goal, just knowing they have a game in hand, and I think that's what they did. But in the end, spells disaster, NMAF forcing the Game 4.
Now, trying to do exactly what they did in Game 3, trying to force us to a Game 5. And we're seeing that pressure that we saw in last game.
From HTP here.
Seeing from NMAF, and yes, like HTP too. And right there, Kaiser with a nice goal. That seemed to be open. Maybe missed rotations from NMAF, just not able to clear the ball. Oh yeah, that was a miss hit there from Chubby Hamster, passing it right in the middle.
Yeah, that was definitely a miss hit there from Chubby Hamster. That is something you cannot do against HTP. HTP are so good at capitalizing on those mistakes that things like that are just not going to be good against them, as they will get easy goals like we just saw. And that's not a good start there for NMAF, because last match they get a goal early, and that's what led to a win. But now every match I think they've gone down first, it has not led to a win. So track record says NMAF do not have a good chance at winning this, but maybe NMAF can just change that track record here and force a Game 5.
Yeah, but we're seeing early in this game, NMAF definitely need to improve their rotations quickly, because we saw first pass from Chubby Hamster right to Kaiser, which led to a goal. And a bit earlier just now, we saw a triple commit to try to save the ball, which is something you do not want to be doing. They just need much better communications, maybe, and also to speed up their rotation, and they can come back here.
Yeah, NMAF, I think, are still just relying too much on that individual skill. We've seen it time and time again where it's only like Chubby Hamster or Vsauce or Easy are the only ones up on that attack, and it's just too much individual skill. A little bit of a double commit there, but in the end, it actually works somehow. And maybe NMAF just has to keep playing with that individual skill mindset, because it kind of worked there. But there was still a little bit of team play there, as I guess you could say Chubby Hamster did confuse the defense a little bit. But if NMAF want to kind of stay in this game and try to win in a reverse sweep fashion, I still think they definitely have to get a little bit more team play going.
Definitely, but we're seeing that back and forth that we saw last game, which, I mean, you did say that the track record shows that when it's down first, they lose, but also the only game that has gone back and forth, they had won. So that's also something to consider. We're just seeing that same level of play from NMAF, and I really think they can win this game.
Yeah, NMAF have definitely adapted. We've said it time and time again. NMAF are probably the best team at adapting. They really go down early. There's many times that NMAF plays where we see them go down 2-0. And we are starting to see a little bit of a counterattack here for NMAF develop, but HTP is going to handle that easily. But the thing I was going to say was, NMAF are a team that always seem to go down 2-0 and then almost try to bring it back and force game 5. So that is just something they're so good at doing. And right now, we're starting to see that once again happen.
Definitely on the note of that, I think NMAF, they're just able to kind of adapt to the team they're playing, and it usually takes about that 2 games to kind of figure out, get in the mood of the game, figure out what they tend to do. This switch coming in with a nice flick there, bar down, a 2-1 lead for HTP Esports right there.
Great dribble play there from Switch. Gets it past Vsauce, and then a great flick at the end to get it past Chubby Hamster. Great individual skill there from Switch. Something you should get used to seeing, especially with a team so skilled like HTP. And NMAF now are in a deficit and have to pull something out here with 2 minutes left. HTP definitely have a lot of confidence right now and could potentially play a little bit more passive, but with the style of play HTP has, they're definitely not going to be doing that.
Right there, almost another goal for HTP, but somehow NMAF found a way to not let that ball go in. The ball seemed to be floating, almost seemed like a free goal for HTP. But NMAF with a nice save and keeping it at a 1-goal deficit with less than 2 minutes remaining here.
We are seeing another attack here from HTP. That pressure just keeps getting increased, but NMAF with a good counterattack. Someone could get a touch on that ball, but nobody is going to be there. And Kaiser with a huge clearance right back up against NMAF's side, and just counterattack after counterattack here for HTP and NMAF. And the team to get a good touch on that counterattack is going to get a goal, and we see it once again. Overcommitment on that high-pressure style of play for HTP leads to another goal for Chubby Hamster. Chubby Hamster scored a goal exactly like that in the overtime, and same kind of mistake here for HTP. Lots of pressure, lots of aggression, but that can lead to easy goals, and we've seen it again here.
Like we saw in Game 3, I feel like I keep saying this, just back and forth, and what HTP can do here, maybe stop, like you were saying, stop those overcommitments. We know that they are good players, and if they just get that lead and they just slow down their rotations just a bit and make sure they don't overcommit, they can definitely continue to hold that lead. But that's just not what we're seeing. We're seeing them continue that high pressure, high level play, and that just doesn't seem to be working out for them in these past 2 games.
That high pressure, high level of play is what leads to goals like that, because the high pressure does lead to kind of good plays and kind of putting the whole NMAF team in a really tough position and out of rotation. And that's why HTP have scored so many goals. But also, like we said, high pressure is like too much aggression. And the reason I think HTP could have too much aggression is because they come into these games with a lot of confidence. And sometimes that confidence can be a little bit too much. And that's what forces all that aggression out. But right now, it is kind of working for HTP as they are in the lead, but they have let some silly goals in due to that kind of aggressiveness. But we are seeing HTP with another attack here. Could pad the stats and get a bigger goal. If HTP score here, it is definitely the nail in the coffin, as NMAF need to score just to send it to overtime.
20 seconds all in for NMAF right now. If they do not score in the next 15 seconds, they are out of the series, and they have lost it.
Chubby Hamster does get a clearance, but that's not going to be enough. And that high-pressure defense coming in handy here for HTP. High-out-pressure offense is coming in handy here for HTP. And that's just the nail in the coffin. Almost disrespectful for HTP there. Just that high pressure putting NMAF in such a dangerous position, and that's what leads to the goal. That is what we saw from NMAF from the first game, just getting completely bombarded on that attack. And in the end, that is what gave HTP the win. So that ball is going to drop, and that's going to be it. HTP taking the win here. NMAF with a great effort at the end. but they still weren't able to hold on and send it to a Game 5 as that pressure from HTP, although it gave a couple goals to NMAF, was just too much in the long run.
I'm definitely going to have to agree with you that I've noticed over a few games, NMAF are good at adapting, and that game was much closer compared to game 1. But it's just the fact that it takes those 2 games for them to start playing well. It's just not enough in HTP. Just too consistent to not let up another game, and they take the 3-1 win.
Exactly. That was going to lead to what I was going to say. If NMAF can just play like they did in those last 2 games consistently, they are going to be one of the best teams in the bracket. They are so well at adapting a team playstyle that if they can just keep them close those first 2 games, it will put them in a much better position to win. But in the end, that just kind of deficit, they kind of dug their own hole, and that is what led to HTP winning. But guys, today I am not going to be able to do a post-game interview, as I have told the people in the Discord. I have to go do a Rainbow Six Siege tournament immediately after this. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in and everybody for watching. But that is actually going to be it for me today, and that is Kaiser decides that he wants to play a little bit more. That is going to be it.
Oh, is he still in? I already left.
Yeah, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning into the stream. And there's, I think, one more game tomorrow. Thanks, guys, so much. And happy spring break to all of you. Hope you guys enjoy your break. And we're heading into the trade deadline for this week. Let's see what those roster changes are looking like. Once again, thank you, Mango, for sticking around here and casting with me, and thank you viewers for sticking around and watching here. Appreciate it. See ya.